Okay, so this is what will be the door stop. This was cut out of one piece of wood, hand planed and sanded. So the door is it's been fitted, and it's all the carpentry's done, the chiselling out is done, and the locks have been fitted, and so on and so forth. So what I've done now is it's been sanded 220, 320, given a blast. This side of the door is the side that has got the raised panels, which is like the cheap side of the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wax this side of the door first, and then when I turn it over, I'll sand and wax the other side of the door before I fit the beading, because the beading sticks out proud of both these rails and stiles, and so I wouldn't want to have that lying on a side where effectively the beading was supporting the door. So I'll do a bit of a time lapse so that you get to see what this door looks like as the rails and stiles take on the same colour as the panels. Should be good. I forgot I was doing these little corners in here, because I thought, you know, on the other side of the door I'm not going to wax those bits because I'm actually going to be putting wood up against it. But yeah, so that's time to turn it over and do the other side now. 240, 320 hand sand wax. So this is all four pieces of beading that I've got that's been waxed. I didn't bother waxing the back of it because I didn't see the point, but the sides have been waxed. This is all been waxed, and you can see there's a beautiful sheen on this now. It's got a really nice sheen to it. Everything's really beautiful and smooth, just gliding across it. In here, I'm not too bothered if there's wax, doesn't bother me. And we've got zero clearance insert for the chop saw, and that is going to be what we're going to use in order to fill all these lovely corners up. So some nice mitre work coming. What I'll do is I'm going to use my pin gun, and that fires these tiny little pins that have got no heads to them. So there's the packet of the pin gun there, and we'll see what it looks like as I'm starting to fill it all in. So using the zero clearance board that we've got here, and being able to get ludicrous accuracy out of it, that's the first section that I put together. I don't believe I cut anything more than once, and if I show you how tight those mitres are, they're pretty tight, which lends itself to a kind of a that's before and that's after. What I was also trying to show you is, can you see the pins? So there's a pin there, and there's a pin there, and there is a pin there. Oops. And one there and one there, and they're so tiny that from the naked eye they're impossible to see, and the pins are going in at an angle like that, and they don't have a head on them, so obviously this is squeezed into position because this is recessed, and those pins are stopping this from lifting, so these are, to all intents and purposes, these aren't going to go anywhere. And the beauty of pre-waxing it means that you get very clean lines, because if I was to try and wax this afterwards, you'd end up getting some kind of like dark, crappy, cruddy stuff in the corner. So that just continues to look good. I don't know why I've got a pencil there, and I don't know why I've got a measuring tape, because I'm not using, the only thing I'm using is that with a fresh blade, and obviously the pin gun, and obviously the miter saw with the homemade zero clearance tape. So the beading is being cut for this side and this side. I just need to make the last piece, which is actually going to fit in here. Now, if you think about it, the way that you would normally think is that corner is going to go in there. But you know what? Using the system that I use, it doesn't really matter. I just need to know the distance between that point and that point. So if I put that piece of wood up against there, and taking a sharp knife and holding this sharp knife, if you can see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mark that's parallel with that edge. So I now have a mark which is there. So I'm now on my my zero clearance insert, which is designed for cutting super accurate miters, and that represents the little nick that I put in it. Okay, so that is going to be lined up with that edge there. So if I line up like that, I now know, if I hold my thumb on there, I now know that when I cut that, that's going to fit perfectly. Watch this. Okay, so that now fits in there. So if we put all of these pieces together, they've all been cut in exactly the same way. And now, if you, Neil, have a look at that and look at the tight corners. I'll get the air gun out, and we're going to fire these little pins. Put a pin nail, which has basically got no head, and I'm going to push it through there at about that angle, so it goes into this point here. So I'm going to start here, and it comes out of that point there. So that fits just neatly into there. 1, 2, 3. If I turn it around, 4. Okay. All done, so now we're ready to go and hang the door and hinges on and lock on, and we'll see what it looks like when it's hung. Beautiful.